Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Curo's April Facebook Live session, together with myself, Julie Evans, and our special guest this month is Sarah Rogers. Sarah, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, good evening. I'm Sarah Rogers, and I'm all things customer accounts. Been with the company.
Everybody, introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, good evening. I'm Sarah Rogers, and I'm all things customer accounts. Been with the company.
Oh, got another Sarah Rogers with us, Sarah.
Wow, that was an echo there.
So, we anticipate that there's not going to be very many people here this evening, given the weather. I can't see that we've got any comments at the moment. But that may well be. Oh, here we go. No, we haven't got any comments yet. So we are here to answer your questions, your queries, to give us feedback, also to give you some updates in regards to the services that we offer you, but also some community updates that Sarah will share with you. I think the first one would be that we are going to be changing the opening hours of our contact team. Currently, we operate from 8 a.m. in the morning till 8 p.m. in the evening. We've had feedback from customers and we've taken account of the amount of demand that we get coming in during the hours of 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We only get about 3% of demand for the day coming in those hours. And therefore, we've made the decision that we will now close the contact centre from 6 p.m. at night. That means that we can use our colleagues to concentrate their efforts in the daytime when we get most of our calls. And hopefully that will mean that you will be waiting much less time to actually connect to a colleague. And we hope that we can help you earlier. If, though, you have an emergency which is outside of those hours or on the weekend, as you know, we have an out of hours service that is run by a company called Apello. You just ring the same number as you would normally do in office hours, and then they will connect. And any emergencies, such as emergency repairs, those will get sent out to our colleagues who are on call, and we will be able to come to you outside of those hours. Um, Still no comments. So, Sarah, do you want to say something about the changes to universal credit? We can come back to it as well when some customers join us.
Yeah, and it's just gentle reminder, really. It's the annual rent increase, and if you're claiming universal credits, you will need to let the DWP know. So you may be familiar, if you have an online claim, you will do this through your journal. The DWP will have sent you a to-do. If you've got any worries or concerns about what your charges are, you can ring the customer accounts team and we can let you know. If you have a telephone claim, you need to phone the DWP. You need to be getting everything you're entitled to. So do it as soon as possible. You really need to do it within your assessment period. Yeah, like I say, if you need any help, we're here to help. But yeah, just do that so you're getting all the right rent charges for your to pay.
And thank you, Sarah. And a big shout out to Sarah and the team that she leads, because it's very much about helping and supporting customers around finances and paying the rent. We're not about evicting people. We very, very rarely do that, and only in exceptional circumstances. We're far more interested in our core purpose, which is rehousing people in need and keeping them in their homes. One of the things that Sarah overlooks is the customer support fund, which we run. We know that people are struggling, particularly in recent months now that energy prices look as though they're going up. Petrol prices are going up. And so we do have a support fund. I don't know if you want to say anything, Sarah, about it and how people can find out more information.
Yeah, I mean, our message has always been the same. If you're struggling, the team, as Julie said, we're not here just to collect rent. Of course, we need to do that to keep the wheels turning. But what we want to do is to help those in financial hardship and those that are struggling. And we have got experienced members of the team who know about benefits. They know about helping you to return to work. Or if those bills that you have got are mounting up and you're falling behind, there are so many things we can do, and so many customers have benefited from that support. So our message will continue to be phone us, email us on customer accounts help, all one word, customer accounts help at curo-group.co.uk. They might pop that up for you. But yeah, we're all ears and absolutely want to help you, especially as Julie says, in these very difficult times for people.
Thanks, Sarah. We're still waiting for our first question. So obviously lots of people are out barbecuing, I think, or mowing their lawns. And talking of mowing their lawns, you will know that the grass growing season has is here. We we cut your grass and we do your grounds maintenance through a contractor called Glendale. We've had some really good feedback about the quality of their services since they've been with us, which is about 2 years now. They've just started the grass cutting program. So if you pay a service charge for grounds maintenance and you have grassed areas, then you can expect to have your grass cut approximately every 2 weeks. Obviously, it will depend on the weather. So if it's atrocious rain, then obviously we wouldn't want to cut the grass then because it will make a mess. It will churn up mud. We do have the facility. If you want to know when your estate is going to be serviced by Glendale, then you can go onto their site. I think it's called Glendale Live. If you
Glendale Local.
Glendale Local, sorry.
Yeah.
If you click onto that on the internet, and then if you go to Glendale Curo, is it, Sarah?
Oh, so it's Glendale Local Curo and then click Glendale Live. And we tested it earlier. Really good service.
Great. So if you go on there and you put your postcode in, you will be able to see the itinerary for when they'll be coming around and carrying out grounds maintenance on your estates. Obviously, you still have the Curo caretakers on site and cleaners. So if you have any questions or if you think that your grass hasn't been cut or if you've got any feedback at all, then let us know. Okay, we have our first question, which is from an old friend of Curo, Keith Bridges. Hi, Keith. Hope you and Shirley are keeping well. Thank you. It's nice to see you. Well, virtually see you too. You've asked what is happening with SHOP. So for those of you that don't know what SHOP is I think it's the social housing older persons group, engagement group that we have previously run, mainly from customers that live in our sheltered schemes. I'm not sure, Keith, to tell you the truth. I know that there's a wide variety now of ways that people can be engaged. If you leave that question with me, I'll take it back to Andrew Snee, who's our Director of Housing and oversees resident engagement, and we'll come back to you and let you know. I'll drop you a line. Can you see the questions now, Sarah?
No, I can't, Julie. Can you?
I can, so leave it to me and I will pass them
Very
over to you as we
excited.
go. Um, Jake Fisher has give us an update. I'm not quite sure what it adds to the conversation, so I'm not going to read that out. Just some other service updates. If you are maybe disabled or your parents or somebody that you know lives in a property and is either disabled or has mobility issues, particularly if they live in a flat, and you would be worried about yourself or about them, whether or not they would be able to quickly get out of the property in case of fire, then please contact us. Again, Sarah, I haven't got the briefing in front of me, so if you would be so kind to give the contact details.
Yes, so that is email our fire safety team on firesafetyteam@curo-group.co.uk.
And if you can make us aware that you have some concerns, either for yourself or for family members or friends, then we will be able to come and visit, carry out what's called a PCFRA. That's a person-centered fire risk assessment. We can make some alterations if necessary. We also work really closely with Avon Fire Service so that if there are any aids or adaptations that you would require in your property as well, then they provide a free service for that. So please let us know, because obviously keeping you safe in your homes is a real priority for us.
Absolutely.
We've had a question from Rowan Coppin. Hello, Rowan. Thank you for contacting us. You're saying that people are saying Curo are preparing for a merger. Is that true? And what does it mean for your current tenants? No, we're not preparing for a merger, Rowan. Um, Obviously, our board, like every other board of a housing association in the sector, annually asks itself the question as to whether or not it would be better for customers, customer service, investment in your homes, whether or not we could do it better and faster if we were to partner with another organisation. It's part of the due diligence that every board in of a housing association has to ask itself for due diligence. So the board regularly does come back to that question, but we're not preparing. If we were, or if in future the board did decide that they felt we could provide a better service to customers by merging or going into partnership with another organisation, then obviously there would be a consultation exercise with customers to give them the information and to get their views. So I hope that's answered your question. Um, Paige, hi Paige, you've got such a question. You've said you've got a question, or that was just a question. So thank you. I hope I've been able to answer that for you. Carl, hi Carl. Carl is one of our frequent flyers on these meetings. So nice to see you, Carl. Hope you're keeping well. Carl is asking, he's wondering why we have a working tap in our locked bin area. That would be for our estates caretakers, Carl, so that we can use that to wash down the bin areas and keep them clean and hopefully smelling nice. Uh, okay, we haven't got any more at the moment. Sarah, is there any other updates you'd like to share with customers?
If there's anybody out there that fancies a competition, so we've got a spring photography competition, which sounds lovely, seeing as spring feels like it has sprung.
Hmm.
So if you think your estates are looking particularly good and at their best, you or perhaps get your children involved, send us your photos to our communications at curo-group.co.uk. There is a prize. So there is a £50 gift card, which is great. And it would be lovely to see some photos. So I know there's lots of people out there that get involved in our competitions. So we'd love to receive those photographs, get them coming in.
Thanks, Sarah. I probably shouldn't share this, but I will give you a little teaser and taster that for a long time now, obviously, as you know, we ask for feedback from customers about our services and what you think would make it better. We have very often had feedback from customers that say, even though there are estate caretakers out there and various colleagues the repairs trades colleagues, you would like to see more of us, and we're not as visible as you would like us to be in your neighbourhoods and communities. So we've taken that to heart. We are looking at our model of how we deliver certainly tenancy services to customers. So I can't go into the detail now, but hopefully the next time we have this, which will be in June, then we shall have some good news to you in terms of some changes that we are planning to make, which is all on the back of customer feedback in terms of what you would like to see from us. So watch this space. Let's have a look. Just a follow up from Carl. You're asking because someone was using the tap to wash their car. Would that be allowed? No, is the answer, Carl. So we will look into that and we will make sure that that is secure so that it's only able to be used by appropriate people, which is basically us. So thank you for that feedback.
Well spotted.
We've got hello, is it Shan or Shan? Um, Hi, Sean. I don't know where you live, sorry, but you say that each week the communal bin shed is overflowing. This is an ongoing issue. It's reported and then cleared, then it happens again. So I'm sorry about that. I think we are doing our part that when it's reported, we clean it. Unfortunately, it's down to the way that it's being used by residents. So what we would say is we would urge any of you, if you think anybody is disabusing them, then let us know and we can have that conversation. it's unfortunate, obviously, that I don't, if you live in Baines, well, probably elsewhere, you'll know that councils don't regularly pick up the rubbish as they used to. And so it is down, I think, to residents to act appropriately and responsibly in making sure that they keep those areas as clean and as tidy as possible. But if you say that somebody is abusing it, then please let us know with details and we can have that conversation. Um, Teresa. Hi, Teresa. You might want to answer this, Sarah. Teresa is saying that she's living in sheltered accommodation and lots of the elderly tenants feel vulnerable since the end of the Live Well scheme. Um, the question that you're asking is, if Curo thought they needed a warden before the Live Well scheme, why don't Curo think they need one now since the scheme ended? Actually, do you want me to start and then you can come in if you want?
Yeah, okay.
So many moons ago, when I started in housing, which was nearly 40 years ago, then every sheltered scheme had a living warden. And obviously, the money that was needed to do that went away, the grants, etc., from councils and government went away, and we moved to kind of hubs of sheltered housing officers. That's moved on as well. We regularly try and understand when somebody moves into our sheltered housing, what type of support they need. All of our sheltered housing is still for 55 and above, I think, Sarah, unless
Yeah.
you've got a disability. And what's happened over the years, Sarah won't mind me saying this to you, but both of us are over that 55 age. Um, and, people don't want to live necessarily in sheltered accommodation anymore. We still think it's needed. We still think there's a need for alarm support at the very least. But when we have spoken to, I think we managed to speak to about 1,800 people that live in sheltered accommodation that potentially had access to the Live Well scheme, which ended at the end of March. There were very few people that actually needed or said that they wanted support because they felt that they could live independently. I think there were about 120 or so people that said yes, they still required ongoing support. And those people, we are now moving on to the independent living service, which is slightly different, but it is something that we have been able to be contracted by Baines Council to deliver. So if you need help, if you need support, then do contact us and we'll see if we can get you onto the independent living service. Anything you want to add to that, Sarah?
Yeah, you will notice a presence out in some of our sheltered communities because we have got colleagues that are coming to the community rooms a couple of times a week in the morning and the afternoon. We've already met many customers yesterday and today, so you may see them pitching up at where you live. So keep your eyes open for them. If you've got feedback for us, then meet them in the community room. If you want to find out the dates when they're coming, happily, again, give us a call, the customer accounts team. We've got the rota, we can help you. But yeah, so we're always all ears and want to hear from you guys and appreciate that some people, you like to have people around. So you will notice a presence over the next few months.
Yes, and it will be a transition period. The thing that I trailed earlier about looking at our models so that we could be more visible in neighbourhoods, that will have a big impact in terms of our presence and availability to people living in our sheltered schemes as well. So watch this space. Have we got any more? Jackie, hi Jackie. You're also concerned about the elderly due to Live Well stopping. Could someone not visit these elderly just to put their minds at ease? Jackie, I go back to what I just said. We did do a big survey of people who are living in sheltered properties as recently as a month or 2 months ago. And genuinely, the vast majority of people did not want to have that support service. Obviously, the Live Well service was given to us, or we had the contract by Baines Council. they've got huge pressures in terms of the monies that they have available, their budgets, and they've also had to make decisions. But whilst they've stopped funding the Live Well service, they have given us a 5 year, a minimum 5 year contract to deliver the independent living service. And if people need support or time limited support, then you can apply to become an independent living service customer. We will run the contract. You won't have the same kind of sheltered housing officers as you would have had previously. But if you do need support, then you will have a named support officer that would be able to provide that support for, I think, up to a maximum of 6 months.
Sorry.
And as Sarah just said, we will be having people visiting weekly over the next couple of months whilst we look to change our model so that there could be a more regular presence with potentially a named colleague. So watch this space.
Yeah.
Rowan's, who asked the question about the merger, said, "Why have Curo made a large percentage of staff redundant?" We haven't made a large number of staff redundant. We've a couple of handfuls of colleagues have. One of the main reasons is the ending of the Live Well contract, and we have managed to redeploy a lot of those colleagues who were affected, and they remain working with us. We also had a contract, an in-house team that carried out installed the new kitchens and bathrooms into people's homes. We've had to make some decisions in terms of the amount of budget that we've got for investment over the next couple of years, and as a result of that, then we had to stop that service. And again, some of the team were made redundant, some chose to get other employment outside of Curo, but again, a large proportion we have been successful in redeploying them into other roles in Curo. So yes, there have been some redundancies. I think what you'll find across the sector is because of budgetary pressures, a lot of housing associations are having to make difficult decisions in terms of the numbers of people they employ. But I'm really pleased that we have been able to really minimise the amount of people that we've had to say goodbye to. So I hope that answers the question. Teresa, I know that obviously those of you that are fitter, that live in sheltered housing, you do want to help your maybe less able neighbours. That is obviously something that the individual can choose to do. I don't think that's Curo's fault that that is happening. I've said that we will have support in place for those who need it. Again, I reiterate, very few people. When I started in housing, and probably when you did, Sarah,
Mm.
practically everyone that moved into sheltered housing needed ongoing support.
Yeah.
That is very, very rare now. Uh, Sarah, Hanny, hi Sarah. You've mentioned Curo a number of times. The ceiling going up to our flats is crumbling away really bad. I thank you for letting us know. I don't know if this has already been reported, Sarah. I don't know where you live, so if you can DM us separately, we will take that away, and obviously we will look at that urgently. Um, Carl, again, you've agreed to have an alarm through your independent living service, which has certainly helped as you've had to use it. So can't fault your independent service, and had a cleaner once a week to help you. So great. Thank you, Carl. That's a great advert for our independent living service. And hopefully that gives some comfort to those of you who are worried about the withdrawal of the Live Well service. Any updates, Sarah, you want to give from our briefing
Oh,
notes?
yeah, I wonder if anybody's heard about Share and Repair. So they are a local company, mainly of volunteers, and thinking about the sustainable piece, they take electricals and they're all pack tested and cleaned and tidied by the volunteers. And then they are then donated, some of them through us here at Curo, for people who need new home kits, kettles, toasters, etc. But what they've also got is they've got some lockers up at Mulberry Park. So those bigger items, for instance, like this time of year, if you've got a garden and you maybe don't have a hedge cutter, for instance, they've got these list of items that you can go and borrow. So the details are on our website. We've done quite a lot of social media about it as well. But if you want to hear anything else, then do sort of check out our website, or again, call customer accounts if you would like. But they also have repairs cafes. So if you've got something broken and you don't want to go and replace it and it's expensive and it's an electrical item, you can go along to one of these cafes, sit there and have a cup of coffee, and they fix it. They even do sewing. You can even take something in and have a zip replaced or whatever. And all they ask for is a small donation, but a really great group of people. And like I say, mainly volunteers.
Thanks, Sarah. Question from Alan regarding replacement windows at Balance Street. You've been told that no windows are being done this year. Um, that's not my understanding. I could be really wrong, and my colleagues could tomorrow tell me off for giving you the wrong information. My understanding is that Balance Street windows are being done this year, but we'll get proper confirmation for you and contact you tomorrow, Alan, unless one of my colleagues in the background is able to give me that information before we finish tonight. Paige, here's one for you, Sarah. I think you can answer this one. Paige, hi Paige. Your question is for a family member who's not on Facebook. Your her mum or his or her mum passed away 3 weeks ago, and they've lived with their mum for 15 years and paid rent to live there with her. They've then received a letter to say they have 4 weeks to get out and go to one stop shop and declare themselves as homeless. Where do you stand with this, as this has been my family home for 64 years? You did ask for a meeting for with me and couldn't get one. Thanks. I'll ask you to address the succession, etc. But in terms of the meeting with me, apologies. I haven't received that message, but equally, I'm probably not the person because I wouldn't be able to give you an answer. That's why we employ great people in our tenancy services, such as Sarah, who would be able to deal with that. Otherwise, if you see me, then all I'm going to have to do is ask one of my colleagues to look into it. So that's probably not that I didn't want to meet you, but probably because we didn't want to waste your time at a
Yeah.
time when obviously it's a very sensitive and distressing time for you.
Yeah, for sure. And I need more information, and I would more than happily speak to you. So, what I think would be better to do is if we could have your details, and then I can make contact with you tomorrow, or Friday. So, yeah, let's have your details in, and then
I
I
think
can.
I know I think we've
Okay,
already got that, Sarah, so I'll pass it on.
great. Okay, and I will make contact tomorrow.
Thanks. I think you're, sorry, Paige. I think, Paige, that your family member has had meetings with some of our senior colleagues. I think Jenny
Ah,
Eyre met with your family member. So it's been I think the reasons have been explained to them. But just for general information regarding successions, um, do you want to give some general updates in terms of it's a succession to the tenancy and not to the property, for example?
yeah, so successions, it really will depend if a succession has happened before. It can be quite complicated, and that's why I say it's always best that, I have all of the details to be able to sit and talk you through it. But I think more importantly, if you have already discussed this and the succession is not what's going to happen, then we need to be able to give you some advice on housing and what next steps are. We've got a very good service called Passport to Housing, but yes, if you've already had those conversations and it's not going to be accepted, then we need to look at other options for you and what they might be. And I'm more than happy to talk that through with you.
Thanks, Sarah. Jeremy, hello, Jeremy. You're saying nothing gets done, reference antisocial behaviour. Um, well, I would have to differ on that. We have a really, really good tenancy compliance team. It may be that the outcome isn't what you wanted it to be, but we will certainly look into that view. I assume you have an ongoing case, so we will ask one of the tenancy compliance team to reach out to you tomorrow. Carly, hi Carly, you're want someone to ring you about your neighbours. I assume that that's a antisocial behaviour or nuisance, and you need to move from your home because of the mold and damp, and you've got a newborn. I'm assuming that you have contacted us, Carly, to say that you've got damp and mold. We do have a dedicated damp and mold team, and we also triage to understand the importance and who gets priority. I think if you've got a newborn, then that would give you some priority. So if you could just let my colleagues know by DMing them your address, then we can look to see if we do know about it and where we are in responding to that. Uh, oh, hi Teresa. You said you saw me in a coffee. Oh, hi Teresa. You said you saw me in a coffee shop. That might have been yesterday, I think. And you were busting to ask me about the warden issue, but decided I should leave you in peace and enjoy your coffee. Thank you for that, Teresa. But you're very welcome to give me a tap on the shoulder anytime if you see me. And I'm very happy to talk to you. Freya, can you explain why you are remodeling your organisation and scrapping the specialist supported housing service and putting that into general Curo, which is the real cause for the large number of redundancies, and how will people get employability support? Okay, so when we are remodeling, as I've explained earlier, unless you weren't on the call then, Freya. We are looking to see how we can improve our services to customers, and we are responding to feedback from a lot of customers that say they want to have more visibility of our colleagues in their neighbourhoods because they don't see enough of us. Um, we have looked at both our specialist supporting housing team, which is called Curo Choice, and our tenancy services. And we feel, and we've consulted with colleagues, that bringing them together will provide a much better service for our customers, and also address some of the disparities between the working conditions of our not sheltered, sorry, supported and specialist colleagues, and obviously the main Curo tenancy services. So the reason we're doing it is because we recognise that there are more and more people that live in our general needs properties that have vulnerabilities and require support. Our colleagues that work in supported housing have fantastic specialist knowledge, experience, and skills, and we want to bring those over to help our other customers who are in need of their services. So we're not getting rid of the specialist teams. We are integrating them. We're not taking them over. They will be fully integrated to provide what we hope is a much better service to all of our customers, many of whom require support, and not just one element of our customer base. I don't know if you want to say anything more, Sarah.
Yeah, no, exactly what you've said. It's that integration. It's regarding our internal colleagues as well as our external customers, and making that job better and the services, more reliable and deliverable for our customers. And we've seen positives from that already.
And I think, Freya, you mentioned about the large number of redundancies. That's just not true.
Mm.
Again, there are a lot of people who are affected, and they're going through that process now. But actually, we've been really successful in redeploying or finding other roles for people in Curo, and we anticipate again that there may be a handful of colleagues that we do have to say goodbye to, but we are absolutely committed to minimising that as much as possible. And if they do need to, if we do need to say goodbye to them, then yes, obviously we will help them with employability, etc., and help them as much as we can so that they can get another role successfully.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's it so far. I don't think we've got any, I don't think I've missed any. Um, so we have had a number of questions tonight about merger and about redundancies. Like any other organisation, and I really mean this, we over the years we have had government requirements for us to cut rent. We've had quite rightly after Grenfell, all housing associations have had to invest heavily into safety elements. We've done that really successfully. We've just finished the year with 100% on all of our tenancy TSMs, are measures that we have to fill in for the government. And we're doing a really good job on keeping our customers safe in their homes, particularly with regards to fire safety, asbestos, etc. We are redeveloping Tintagel Close, for example. We're knocking that down, we're rebuilding. All of these things cost money. And so every single housing association in England is having to find ways of delivering really good services, but in a much more efficient way. So we're not doing anything different from what other organisations are doing. We're listening to our customers. We're using their feedback to model where we're making changes. But these things are inevitable, I'm afraid. You know, it's the state of the country. Everyone is having to be as efficient as possible in delivering services.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say we haven't done anything like this for a very long time. And some of our services, aren't really fit for purpose, and we do need to make those changes. So, yeah, yeah.
CJ Powell, you live in a three-bedroom with four boys. You have one person who lives above you who bought the flat. Your boys have ASD and jumping around, and your upstairs neighbour can hear them. We've tried reducing how the sound carries up. Is there anything we can do that you suggest to help with any noise so we don't disturb her? You already have carpets throughout. It's a difficult one.
A difficult one.
Um, I haven't got any answers for you now, CJ, but what we might do is get one of our colleagues to pop around and have a chat with you and see if there are any practical solutions or suggestions that we can offer. We have this issue quite a lot, don't we, Sarah?
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes, absolutely. And yeah, it would be worth coming around to have a look, or, is it perhaps a move? I don't know, whether you're registered with the local authority, if you say that your children, it might be worth looking at something like that with our passport to housing service. But first and foremost, let's have a look at the property and if there's anything we can do to help and support there.
Um, yeah, and it is difficult. You know, obviously you're under a lot of stress. I have great sympathy. And with general housing, general needs housing, then people living adjacent to it other will have different needs. They'll have different lifestyles. I'm not suggesting yours is a lifestyle, but and it's how do you live reasonably with each other. Um, Possibly in blocks of flats that are quite old and didn't have the same levels of soundproofing that is required now when we build new build properties.
Mm.
So I do sympathise, and it's not. I don't think we've got an easy answer to solve that. Sorry, CJ. Hello, Kai, Ashley Fletcher. Can you ask why it's difficult to get an answer about asbestos flooring replacement and lack of replies when reaching out? Um, I don't know, Kai. Obviously, you're in conversation with us already. Um, we can find out and we can get somebody to contact you. CJ, yes, he would like us to come out and have a conversation. I can see that you're trying really hard, CJ, to find ways to try and balance your boys' happiness together with the needs of your upstairs neighbour. And obviously, yes, you do hate upsetting her, and I'm sure she understands that you're not doing it on purpose. But we'll have a chat with you and we'll see if there's any reasonable, sensible solutions that we can offer.
Mm.
Um, haven't got any more at the moment. Maybe I can tell you about our charity of the year. So every year we choose a charity or we ask colleagues to nominate or put forward nominations for charities that we can then focus on for the year and raise as much money as possible. I'm not sure how many, we had about 30 odd nominations, I think, from colleagues this year.
Mm.
Was it last year that it was Suicide Prevention UK?
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah, which was a really worthy cause, and we managed to raise about £15,000 over those 12 months through a variety of things, cakes, baking, quizzes, all sorts of things. We've just gone out again to colleagues for nominations, and we've shortlisted and we have picked, I haven't got the briefing in front of me, but I think it's Wiltshire and Bath Air Ambulance Charity.
that's correct.
Brilliant. So I know that some of our colleagues have already been out to meet the people who run it. They're really happy that we will be supporting them as much as possible this year. And we really look forward to working with them and helping them with the great work that they do. So, uh, yes, we're really happy about that. Kai, you'll have to contact us if you're not in conversation. Um, we don't necessarily replace asbestos flooring unless there's something wrong with it. So asbestos is safe if it's in situ and it's in good condition. So Kai, unless there was something wrong with it, then we would leave it in situ because that's the safest thing to do. Obviously, you can cover it with carpet if you like, but we wouldn't automatically replace asbestos flooring just for the sake of it. Uh, Keith, our good friend Keith, is asking whether Liverpool Football Club, who is very dear to my heart, would they qualify? Probably not, Keith, the way that they're playing at the moment. I don't think they've started tonight, but I'm not looking for a good result in Paris. But thank you for asking. Uh, Kai, I can't give you an answer in terms of your asbestos flooring. You're going to have to contact us, and we'll make sure that somebody talks to you about it. Okay, we've got about 20 minutes left, but we're not going to flog it just for the sake of staying on if we haven't got any more questions. So we'll leave it a couple of minutes, and then if there's no more questions, we'll say good night. Sarah, have I missed anything from the briefing?
I think there is just one thing we were going to talk about, and that was accessible communications. So look out for the red ear icon on our website. It launches like a reach deck on the website, and it offers things like screen reading, changes the text size, picture dictionaries, and translations to 100 languages. So that's the accessible communications and the red ear icon on our website.
Thanks, Sarah. And just maybe for those of you that weren't with us right at the beginning, we are making changes to our opening hours in terms of the contact centre. You may know at the moment that it's open from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. at night. We've done a study to see how much the customers use that to contact us during the hours of 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's very, very little. And what it means is that we have to have colleagues covering those 2 hours, even though they don't get many phone calls. We recognise that sometimes, particularly on a Monday, when it can be very busy or in the winter, when there's more repairs likely to happen, we want to make sure that we can reduce the calling time as much as possible. And we think if we are able to concentrate our colleagues to work between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m., we'll have more people available to be answering the phones, which means hopefully that you won't be waiting too long to be answered. So we are going to close the contact centre from, I think, the beginning of May. Is it, Sarah?
Yeah,
From the
absolutely. Yeah.
beginning of May
5th of
so that
May.
it will close now at 6 p.m. Of an evening. If you have an emergency and you need to contact us outside those hours or on the weekend, then you just call the same number, 01225 366 000. That will take you through to Apello, who are our contractors that offer the out of hours service. If it's an emergency repair, then we have colleagues who are on call and they will be able to come out and at least do make it safe, even if we can't do the whole repair. But we feel that given the fact that we have very few calls in that time, then it will be a better service if we are to concentrate our colleagues at times when we know that the customers like to call us. So if you know of other friends or family that are Curo tenants and contact us by phone, if you could just let them know. I think we are going to be sending out some communication anyway, but let them know that we will be closing the contact centre from 6 p.m. from the beginning of May.
5th of May.
5th of May. Thank you. Um, let's have a look. Uh, oh, we've got some thank yous here. Here we go. Tina. Hi, Tina. How are you? Hope you're keeping well. Um, you just want to thank all staff that's been out and done all work to our block of flats, which is in Keynsham, I think, Tina. Um, they're a great bunch. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you, Tina. I'm glad about that. And I know that you and your neighbours have had a lot of work done, so I'm glad you're pleased with the outcome. You do have a question. Yesterday, Metro Rod came out to do annual check on outside drains. Um, we have a sub drain, I'm assuming, in your garden. Possible have to have the garden ripped up. He's sending a report back to Curo. We have had scaffolding up since February, so desperate to get the garden back. Can you please find out more for me? Yes, I can, Tina, and I'll get someone to contact you tomorrow because you don't want to not be using your garden in this lovely weather. So I completely understand. Uh, Jade, you might be able to help with this one, Sarah, although I'm not sure. Hang on. Hi, Jade. You live in Conagra Green in Timsbury. You've got a communal garden, but with individual plots. You have several gardens that don't get looked after. There are gardens with brambles coming over the communal path, and you're having to get them cut down yourself to make it safe. Can I ask, after 2 years of complaints and ringing up, keeps getting forgot about or told it's not a priority, but it's very unsafe, and why are plot owners not being made to take responsibility, as this seems unfair on the users that want to use it? I think you're absolutely right.
Mm.
Absolutely right, Jade. Then we need to take more responsibility for that. So yes, Sarah, if you can take away that
Yeah,
tomorrow and
absolutely.
talk to tenancy colleagues, and I will talk to Carl, who is our Director of Estates and Grounds Maintenance,
Yeah.
and we will get that cleared. But then it is up to the owners of the plots to make sure that they're adhering to their tenancy agreement and looking after their gardens. So thank you for raising that, Jade. You're absolutely right. It's not fair on you and
Yeah.
others. Um, Zeke. Hi, Zeke. Zeke is saying, what a wonderful sunny day. The gardens look great and wanted to say thank you.
Oh, bless
Thank you,
him.
Zeke. Thank you for taking the time to give us that feedback. We really appreciate it. Oh, we got another thank you.
Oh my
Three in a
goodness.
row. We're on a
We're on a
roll.
roll.
Charlie. Hi, Charlie. You say, I just wanted to say thank you to how you and your team dealt with my managed move. I know we never spoke directly, but thank you. Charlie, it's our pleasure. I know it took a bit longer than we anticipated because we had to do more work than we understood at the beginning when the property became empty. But I hope I'm glad you were moved, and I hope you've settled quickly into your new home. So best wishes.
Yeah, and we'll let colleagues know because they really do appreciate positive
Yeah,
feedback. It means a lot.
absolutely. Okay, I think. I think we haven't got any more. I'd like to go out on a high with three thank yous in a row. So Sarah, should we call it a night?
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Thank you for everyone that's come on and taken the time on this beautiful, well, it's not so beautiful in Wales now, but on this beautiful sunny evening. We really appreciate you taking the time. We get a lot out of these sessions,
Absolutely.
and being able to talk to you directly. So thank you. And it will be myself and probably another colleague here in June to answer some more of your queries. So thank you from me. I'm now going to see if Liverpool are losing badly. And
Have a
Sarah,
nice evening.
thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.